Hello everyone. Now we are going to see 1984 written by George Orwell. It was one of the best novels written by George Orwell. George Orwell, he was baptized the baptized name of George Orwell is Eric Arthur Blair, and he was born on 25th June 1903 at Motighari, Bengal Presidency, British India. And then he had written all his works only under the pen name of George Orwell. Mostly nobody is aware of his baptized name, that is Eric Arthur Blair. And then he has concentrated much on the subject of anti-fascism, anti-Stalinism, anarchism, democratic socialism, literary criticism, journalism, and polemic. So, and then he is known for another his allegoric novel Animal Farm, and then his dystopian novel, that is which we are going to discuss in this video, 1984. It is a dystopian novel, and then he was influenced by the writings of Shakespeare, Jonathan Swift, Fielding, Dickens, that is Charles Dickens, etc. Okay, and then the modern writer who influenced him the most was William Somerset Maugham. Okay, because he admired his power of telling a story straightforward. That is, without making any frills, he will narrate his story in a straightforward way. So, for that, he was admired. As a writer, Orwell, he had produced a lot of literary criticism and poetry, and also fiction and polemical journalism. Okay, in 2008, Times, it is, you all know what is Times. So the Times ranked George Will as second among the 50 greatest British writers since 1945. And then his six novels, that is the six famous novels of George Orwell are Burmese Days, A Clergyman's Daughter, Keep the Aspidistra Flying, Coming Up for Air, Animal Farm, and 1984. And then he was died in the year 21st Jan 1950. So when you talk about the novel, this novel was written by George Orwell, and it was published in the year 8th June 1949, 2 years after independence. And this was the ninth and final book which Orwell had completed in his lifetime. And then, as I have already told, this novel comes under the genre of dystopian social science and political science fiction. It is something uh, it is a novel which deals some kind of political issues in that. Okay, and then this novel examines the role of truth and facts within politics, and the ways in which those rules and that is those truth and facts are explained and how they are manipulated. Okay, and then thematically, this novel centers around the consequences of totalitarianism, man surveillance, and repressive regimentation of people. So, summary here, Winston Smith, he was the protagonist of this novel, and he is the citizen of Oceania. Okay, and then he is 39-year old, and he was a thin man, that is, he was not much fat. Okay, and then there were four ministries mentioned in this novel. The one is the Ministry of Truth. Okay, so this ministry, they regulates all form of media, entertainment, art. Okay, something related to media, that is the Ministry of Truth. And then the Ministry of Peace, so what they will do, they will preside over all aspect of war. And then the Ministry of Love, so which is a form of judicial system. And then the Ministry of Plenty, so it manages the protection of party goods, that is victory cigarettes. So the goods which were produced in that ministry will be of poor quality. Okay, so these are all the four ministries mentioned in this novel. And then among that four ministry, this protagonist Winston Smith, he was working in one of the four ministries, that is Ministry of Truth, which serves as the entire government of Oceania. So what to say, Winston, wherever he goes, even his own home, when he goes to his own home, he will watch the party only through telescreens. Okay, he will watch the party only through telescreens, not his every action, the action which he does, even a single action which he does, and the word, and also his facial expression, everything will be displayed only through telescreens. And then he's a kind of person who wants some kind of privacy, intimacy, freedom and love. Okay, so he's somewhat a different character. Okay, and then but Winston, he disliked the party, so he buys a diary in order to write his criminal thoughts. Okay, why he wants to write his thoughts in as a writing format? Because he cannot express his thoughts in open, because he thinks that if he expresses his thoughts in an open way to the people, definitely they might kill him. So because of that, he decided to express all his thoughts in the form of writing. Okay, um, he also considers that he is disliking the party. Okay, so he thinks that a thought against the party as thought crimes. Okay, so that is the thinking about against the party will also be considered as a punishable offense, and it will result in imprisonment, torture and also death. Okay, so from this we could understand the political scenario of that particular society during that time. Okay, and that he starts to write in his diary, and then while he is writing, he thought of O'Brien. Okay, so he was the only one person who helps to uh, bring his big brother down. Okay, because both these two characters are against the party. Okay, so what happens one day, Winston, he notices a co-worker. Her name is Julia, and she was a beautiful dark haired girl. Okay, and then what she was doing, she was staring at Winston. Okay, so in the beginning, Winston thought Julia as a police. Okay, but eventually, on the contrary, he receives a note which contains the writing "I love you." Okay, so after that, he rented a room from Mr. Charrington. Mr. Charrington was a store owner, so only from him, that is Winston, had brought the diary. So he also rented a room. So the relationship between uh, Julia and Winston, it lasts for only some time. Okay, so because Winston is very sure that definitely he will be caught and he will be punished within few days, that is sooner or later. So as the relationship with Julia progresses, uh, he is already against the party, that is Winston is already against the party, so his that is what to say, his hatredness towards the party increases a lot. And finally he receives a message which he was waiting for so long. The message is O'Brien to see him. Okay, so both this Julia and Winston, they go to meet O'Brien. So suddenly a soldier will bargain, and they will seize them. He will seize them. So Mr. Charrington, who was the store owner, so he revealed the truth of being the member. Okay, he revealed the truth. So another truth also. What will happen if we are doing lot of crimes? If if one of our crimes started to expose in the public, definitely then all the other crimes which was done by us will be explained gradually one by one. Okay, this is what happened here too. So first Mr. Charrington revealed some kind of truth, and then along with that another kind of truth also revealed, that is O'Brien, he is also a party spy. Okay, only he had maintained a relationship, that is some kind of brotherhood relationship with Winston, in order to make a trap for Winston. Okay, so then he starts to, that is O'Brien, he starts to torture and brainwash Winston. So throughout the novel, because of that torture, and because of that pressure, he had that is Winston had nightmares about rats. Okay, so now O'Brien, he will bring a strap which will be full filled with cats. Okay, so what he will do, he will uh, keep that on the Winston's head, and he also allows the rats to eat his face. See how cruel he is. Okay, making the rat to eat a human being's face who is alive. Okay, so on seeing that Winston couldn't able to tolerate that situation, so he started to plead, and he also asks uh, everything, that is the punishment which he is undergoing, so to do everything to Julia but not to him. See where the love is. They have a relationship, that is Winston and Julia have had a relationship, but when there is a punishment, a male is asking him to leave and punishes his uh, lover. Okay, so giving up Julia is what O'Brien wanted all along. So from this we could understand the motive behind O'Brien. So O'Brien's only motive is Winston wants to give up Julia. So that motive is fulfilled here. Okay, so only now Winston, he starts to realize the outside world. Okay, after that Winston will meet Julia, but he won't have any kind of feeling towards her. Okay, and then after that, what will happen, Winston will accept the party entirely, and he will also start to love his own big brother. Okay, so this is uh, the how a character of a human being changes from the beginning to the end. Beginning, he dislikes the party, and there were some incidents in between, and after that finally he likes the party entirely. That is the main. Hope you all clear with the story. So when you see the themes, danger of totalitarianism, so we could see in the beginning Winston is telling that if he tries to express his thoughts in a open way, definitely he will be died. Then loyalty, subversion of reality, subversion of love and feelings, loss of identity and independence, political loyalty, and class system. Okay, so these are all the things. Then, so danger of totalitarianism. So the primary theme is the writer wants to warn the readers of the danger of totalitarianism. So the central theme of this novel is to convey the extreme level of control. So if a people starts to control others, how it will be, how worst it will be. So this is the thing which is expressed in this novel, and it also explores how such a government system. So if a government system is not good, then how it would create some kind of impact in the society and also the people who live in that society. Okay, and then loyalty. In 1984, the party seeks to ensure that the only kind of loyalty possible is, so the loyalty which they should follow is they should remain loyal to the party. Okay, so after that, the same loyalty was being destroyed by the party in the later stages. Okay, so neighbors and the co-workers, they will have some kind of conversation with one another. Okay, on the other hand, Winston, he will develop some kind of relationship with Julia. Okay, but what will happen in the end, the party will not allow Winston to love Julia. Okay, so he will allow that is he will have some kind of affection towards his own brother. Okay, that is the theme of loyalty. So these are all the things, and the some other themes are I have already discussed: subversion of love and feelings, subversion of reality, loss of identity, and independence. Definitely there is no identity for Winston. In the beginning he was against the party, and then there were many incidents, that is that is he had some kind of relationship with Julia, and after that he was being punished by O'Brien, and then during that time he says that you can give all this punishment to Julia instead to me, like that. So here and then again in the end we could see there is a total transformation inside Winston. He starts to accept the party entirely. Okay, so there is no loss of identity, and there is no independence for the people. Only those who are controlling, though they have the power over, they have the total control over people. And then political loyalty and class system, definitely there will be a variation in the class. The upper class people will definitely try to control, or definitely will try to dominate or suppress the lower class people, so which we could find in this novel also. Okay, so hope you all clear with all the points which I have discussed so far. So if you have any doubts, you can post it in the comment box. I will try to rectify it in my next video. Thank you, and thank you for your patient listening.